Hi everyone, it's Richard Calabat, CEO of Miami Living Homes Real Estate Team, and welcome to my Leave a Legacy channel. If this is your first time here, I thank you very much for visiting. Hopefully you'll enjoy the information. If you do, please subscribe and share with others that you feel may benefit from this information as well. Today, I'm going to share a very personal story about how I lost 20 pounds in 3 months. So I like to say that it was easy, but it really wasn't. I'm going to share some of my tactics, some of my strategies, and just ideas that I threw out there, and it seemed to work for me. And I believe all of us have, at some point in our life, wanted to lose weight for various reasons, and sometimes there's just so much information out there and you don't know what's going to work, what doesn't work. Maybe this works for you, maybe it won't. It did work for me. So I'm a person that when I see a result that I want, and I want to learn more about how that person achieved that result and see if it's something that I can put into my daily habits and have that benefit me as well. So let me start with my story. And my wife and I had our second boy around 2.5 years ago. And at that time, life was a roller coaster. It still is, but at that time it was a upside down turning roller coaster. And just getting new strategies on how to handle the kids, and time and everything else is more important than, of course, ourselves, right? I think a lot of parents out there can certainly appreciate this. Second child, getting new, all of this information. So, you eat whatever you can, whenever you can, because you're starving and you're hungry, and there's no structure at all. And so that is what happens, is you lose taking care of yourself, right? Which of course is priority number one, but when you're in the middle of the tornado, you're just doing whatever you can to keep these little guys alive, right? At least that's how it was for us. My wife works, I work, we're full-timers, and so it was a lot of a juggling in there. So whatever your situation is, I'm sure whether you're juggling something, whether you're stressed out at work, whether you're going through a breakup, maybe you're getting married, you're getting divorced, you're having babies, or you're just finding yourself, or you're just unhappy when you look in the mirror and you say, where does that body come from? How did I get to where I am right now? So while that was happening, I also was approaching my 50th birthday. So tack on a midlife crisis in the middle of this tornado, and an identity crisis. And so I was just so confused with so many different things, and I saw my weight increasing, and I thought, again, I'm turning 50. I go, maybe that 50 is just a card, right? It's like, okay, well, here's my you can get fat now card because you're turning 50, or it's okay because you had a baby card, and it's okay. And so I allowed that mentality to get inside me, and it's not like me, but I did, and I took over. It took over, and I said, okay, you know what? You look at other people, oh, well, I'm not as fat as that person, or I'm judging myself, and I'm critical, and I'm comparing, and doing all the things you're not supposed to do. But of course, it's your own excuse, it's your own story. You're telling yourself as to why you're allowing these reasons to get in the way that's causing you to have to go shopping, to buy bigger clothes, and to work around this new identity or wherever you're heading towards. So it's not pretty at all, and I think that was kind of one of the things that hit me hard. I'm like, am I really buying a size 36 pants? Because I've always been 32, 34 most of my life, and now I'm 36. I'm like, well, I guess so, and at the time I was like, well, I can't lose weight in 2 days, and right now everything else doesn't fit. So I just bit the bullet. I went and I bought, not too much, but I bought enough stuff that I could wear, and it worked, right? It was what I needed at the time. However, I moved all my skinny clothes into the back of the closet. I didn't give them away. Number one, I paid a lot of money for them, and number two, I was thinking that I put that there as a reward or as something I can strive for. I'm like, okay, I'm not letting go of that person, right? I'm going to be that person again, or I don't know when and how, but I'm going to put it there because I want to know that I haven't killed that person, right? I didn't kill that person, that skinny person that I know I enjoy being. So more on that later. So whatever your reasons are, I'm going to share with you my strategies on how I got there. So 3 months, 20 pounds, okay? I was actually about 207.9 to be exact, right? And today I can say, actually I was on the scale this morning and I was 182.9. So it's really 25 pounds total, but the bulk of it, these last 20 pounds, have really peeled off in the last 3 months, right? All right, so here we go. Number one, write down what are your desired results. How much do you want to lose, right? Maybe it's 5 pounds, maybe it's 10 pounds. Maybe you need to do it for a special event. Maybe you've got a little, you know, belly fat, you just want to kind of get rid of it. Whatever it is, identify it, write down what it is you want to lose and by when, right? How long, how much, okay? Then, very important, write down why is that important to you. What does that do for you? How does that affect your life? How is that going to change your attitude? How is that going to allow you to show up as a better person in your relationships, at work, for your family? Whatever that is, write it down. Spend a lot of time on number one, because this is going to keep playing out throughout the course of this, you know, session or this your new game plan, because you need to be reminding yourself why I really want this. Because if you don't want it bad enough, you're not going to make a change. And you might have already turned off this video, right? You're like, whatever. But if you want it bad enough, write down why you want it. What is the desired result? What does life look like once you accomplish that? Right? Oh, I get to go shopping. Like right now, I still haven't went shopping for my new skinny clothes because I have about 5 more pounds, I think, that I want to kind of get to, right around 180, maybe just a bit under. And then I'm going to go shopping, and that's going to be my reward, right? That's my desired result, is I'm going to go shopping, and I can't wait to buy some new clothes and, you know, fit in and, you know, all of that, right? I'm very excited. So maybe it's to go shopping, maybe it's to have a better relationship, all of that good stuff, okay? So write it down, be specific. Okay, number 2, meals and snacks. Again, this is what I did. This is what worked for me. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, and probably if you ask those guys what I'm about to tell you, they're gonna say, hell no, don't do that. However, it worked for me. I'm the type of person, when I commit to something, I'm all in. I'm gonna do whatever it takes. And so for me, number 1, breakfast. 6 days out of the week, I do not eat breakfast. What do? I drink about 2 cups of coffee. When I wake up, that gets me going, that wakes me up, suppresses my appetite a little bit. I, you know, well, maybe exercise, I'll do something, I'll keep myself busy, I go to work, I do a lot of stuff in the morning. Takes my mind off of it, right? When I say the morning, I mean as soon as you wake up, breakfast, okay? So then what happens is when I roll around to 10, 11 o'clock, maybe even 12 o'clock, between 10 and 12 is probably the first part of the day that I actually put something in my mouth food-wise. And again, for me, it was maybe a Kind bar, or if I'm going to have a breakfast for one day, I really like a ham, egg, and cheese breakfast sandwich. And I'll get that either at Dunkin' Donuts. There's a nice little place next to my home that I get, maybe with a croissant or an English muffin. If I'm at Starbucks, I get a reduced fat turkey bacon sandwich, right? And so that is what has worked for me in the morning, if I'm going to have anything. Sometimes I just have a protein shake. So I have various different flavors. You know, I like the chocolate and peanut butter and strawberry and cookies and cream, whatever it is, right? Protein shake with almond milk is what I use. Almond milk, the powder, and I'll add fruit. I'll add berries, strawberries, blueberries, all of that, mix it up. So that becomes my meal up until lunchtime, right? Here's the secret sauce. My lunch, you try to extend it as long as possible. Don't have lunch at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. I average lunchtime for me is like 3 o'clock. 2 to 3, okay? 2 to 3. If you can make it to 2 to 3 and have lunch, you can have a big meal, right? I know they say, oh, you should just do a light lunch. No, that should be your biggest meal of the day, actually. And I have protein. I'll always have chicken and meat, maybe a steak or, you know, ground beef or pork or something meaty, right? Maybe fish. Sometimes it's salmon. Sometimes I'll have a fish. But I'll definitely have a big meal at lunchtime. And when I say big, I mean enough so that I'm satisfied, right? I don't overstuff myself. I don't eat too much, but I'm satisfied. And in that meal, you know, used to incorporate pasta, maybe, sometimes rice, sometimes sandwiches and bread, right? Carbs. So I did strip away most of the carbs, right? I'm Middle Eastern. I love rice. I used to eat rice every day of my life growing up. And now I went from white rice to brown rice. And even now, when I started, and even now, I even have less brown rice, maybe once a week, sometimes twice if I'm going to a family event or something like that. So that is the middle part of the day. Bread, if I have bread, it's a whole grain, maybe whole wheat. You know, I love hamburgers, so I still eat hamburger bun. A good trick though, if you're gonna eat sandwiches, I'm a sandwich guy, is do what they call an open face sandwich, where you either remove the top, whatever the thicker part is, right? So if you go to a restaurant and they have these thick sandwiches, and you know, remove the thicker part and flip it over, and then you just kind of eat it open face, where you have a little bit of bread, but it's at least less. That makes a big difference, believe it or not. It's, you know, it's half or more than 50% because it's the bigger piece, right? Each meal, okay? So here's the trick about weight loss. It's the same thing about, you know, finance, right? The laws of compounding interest, right? You put a little money away, you make a lot of money later. Here, you reduce a little bit every day and you see the results much faster. So that's also very important. What other snacks do I use? Nuts. I always have mixed nuts nearby. Beef jerky is really awesome. They have some great brands now, like Perky Jerky. They'll have turkey jerky. Some have chicken jerky. And of course, there's always the beef. So don't be cheap on this one. Get the really good brand. It's not expensive when you compare it to, you know, other meals or anything like that. Not that expensive. It really, a few bites takes you from being starving and everything to, okay, I can get to the next level, right? I can just get to the next hour or get to the next 2 hours. And again, I don't know how healthy this is or not. I'm just saying what worked for me. And if your stomach is not a little grumpy, you're not doing it right, okay? All right? At some point, your body needs to pull some of that stored fat. And the only way it does that is when it's in a position where survival, right? Almost like survival, right? We're in the wild. Think about the animals, right? They're hungry every day until they get to their next kill. They're kill and they're satisfied for a long time because they gorge themselves. But then they can go days without eating, and their stomachs are shriveling, and you know, and all of this stuff, right? So, you know, you need to get to that point, which is why the morning, everyone says, no, you got to have the first meal of the day as soon as you wake up because it's going to speed up your metabolism. I'm not a believer in that. Your metabolism is your metabolism, right? It's going to be working no matter what. So when you say you speed it up because you just ingested something that your body's like, wow, I just got something here. I need to do something with it, so I better go to work to get rid of that. So it's trying to to take care of what you just ate, instead of, if there's nothing in your stomach, what is your body going to do? Is it going to shut down? No. You're not going to be able to get out of bed? No. It's still going to work, and it's going to go, okay, I need energy. Where am I going to get it from? I'm going to get it from all of this stored fat that you have laced throughout your body, and it's going to pull little pieces from here and there. I promise you, it's okay. I promise you, it's okay to be hungry. It's okay to have that, your body do what it's naturally meant to do and pull from those deep, deep pockets. That's how you lose weight quickly, is you have to take those deep buried fat. It's buried so deep in your skin that you can't even tell where your body ends and where the fat starts, right? So you let your body go to work. Let your body do the heavy lifting, but you have to tell it how you want it to do it, okay? So again, that's what works for me. So then we get into the evening. Right now, most of the time I have a salad with some protein, mostly chicken. I have chicken breast, chop it up, put it in a salad, lots of veggies. I do mixed greens, sometimes romaine, sometimes spinach, sometimes I'll just mix it up. Always cucumbers, onions, mushrooms, peppers, little croutons, and I do like Vidalia onion dressing or balsamic vinaigrette, and sometimes I mix them both, okay? So that's for dinner. Or if I do have some protein, sometimes I just have protein and that's it, chicken breast or some meat, and I'll eat that and be done by 7 o'clock. Obviously that's easy during the week. Maybe on the weekend it might be a little harder, but if you can be done by 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at the latest, or else, you know, at least a couple hours before you go to bed. So whatever your bedtime is, at least a couple of hours, you should be done with all of your eating for the day, okay? So, all right, that's that. Exercise. Okay, just start. So I have a Peloton bike at home that I wasn't using for a while. I was using it to dry my laundry, right? Just throwing it up there and just kind of leaving it. And it's like kind of like in between our living room and our dining room. So I see it every day and I'm like, oh, I should really get on there sometime, you know? Of course, now, switch time, trigger, switch, trigger. Everyone has it, okay? I'll talk about that later. My trigger is like, all right, I'm just gonna get on there. Let me just get up, get on there. I did it for 15 minutes the first week, you know, 3 days a week. The next week, 30 minutes, 3 days a week. Now up to about 45 minutes, right, 3 days a week. It's convenient, it's easy for me, and you know, it works for me, right? If you want to do Stairmaster, if you want to do elliptical, if you want to do riding, I do a little bit of weights in the evening. I'm not that strong in the morning. So I do my cardio in the morning because, again, it's burning that stored fat. And then at nighttime, after I have my protein, after I have my shake or whatever, now I can lift weights and I feel a little bit stronger at that time, right? And I do that just a couple times a week right now. I do want to get a little bit more into that, but, right, everything has its own time and a place. I will tell you, I also started doing bicycle sit-ups. So easy, right in your bed, right? I mean, I wake up before I even get out of the bed. I'm there doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I did up to 50, and I would do it twice. I do 50, then I would stop. And then, you know, first it was probably 30, and then 40, right? Everything is gonna build up. It doesn't matter. Don't tell yourself I gotta do 50. Just do 10. Do it until it hurts, and then stop. And then rest, and then do it again until it hurts, and then stop. So I do that in the mornings. I do that here. This is my office. So I work from home sometimes. And so from here in the evening, I will be working. I'll take a break. I have my mat right here on the ground. And I'll knock out about 50 or maybe 100 of those bicycle sit-ups because it really strengthens your core. It's very important to have that. What else do I do? Push-ups. I do some push-ups. Excuse me. And then I just started doing planks because those are really hard for a little while. Now I started doing some planks, and so it's been very helpful, very successful with that. So these are easy exercises, you guys. Easy exercises that you can do right from home. So that's why I want to give you options that you don't have to go. If you don't have a gym membership or you don't have anything like that, exercise doesn't mean you have to go to the gym. You can do it right from your living room while you're watching your soap opera or your TV or your Netflix or whatever, right? Get off the couch and just watch your TV from there. Which, by the way, I stopped watching a lot of my shows because it was interfering with my new schedule, right? So we're going to talk about that at number 6 of, you know, needing to make sure that you sacrifice something if you want to include something new, okay? Number 4, okay, what is the pain of doing nothing? Okay, you got all these ideas, you wrote down what you want, you got your little meal plan, you got an exercise schedule, and you're like, okay, I gotta take action. Okay, if you don't take action, what does that look like, right? Obviously nothing's gonna happen, but could it get worse, right? The pain of not taking care of your body. Does that mean you're gonna gain more weight? What's that gonna do to your mindset? What's that gonna do to your attitude? How's that gonna affect your relationships? Are you in some kind of a downward spiral? Is this really important to you? What does that look like? That future, if you continue on the path that you're on right now. So it's very important to understand that as well, because you need to get a fast forward glimpse of what 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, who knows, right? But you need to see what that looks like in order to really understand, wow, if I got to that point, what would my mindset be? What would I do with myself, right? I would be so upset, disappointed, discouraged, you know, whatever it is, so that you have that and use that as fire, right? You use that as your fire and your passion to be like, oh hell no, I'm not gonna let that happen to me, okay? So it's very good to understand the pain of just doing nothing. All right, so we gotta make our schedule. I gave you a quick rundown of my schedule. Again, I wake up probably between, 6 o'clock, 6:30. The kids, my wife and I, again, we tag team depending on one of us takes the kids to school every other day. And so the day that my wife takes them to school, I jump on the Peloton bike. I have more time and I get that done. Then my rest of my schedule. I am usually in bed. Yeah, for me it's usually never before 10, and it could be 11 or even 12 sometimes. I'm trying to get it closer to 10, but sometimes it's a little bit later. I like to read. I do reading in bed, and I do that at night. Sometimes I do it in the morning, but not really. Mostly at nighttime. Once the kids are in bed, then I can read, and if I have a show, maybe I'll watch a little bit of a show. But that's my best time for doing my reading, reflecting, some kind of motivating meditation, journaling, writing down some things. All that for me happens at night. I know a lot of people say, well, no, you gotta wake up at 5 a.m. and you gotta do all that stuff at that time because it's the best way to start your day. I get it, and I'm with you. I agree that it should be done, and yet I'm not so particular as to when it happens, as long as it does happen. I do think it's very important and very healthy, because I think when you go to bed, what you wake up is with the same thoughts that you had when you went to bed, and so that helps me to really have that passion and energy first thing in the morning. Okay, so make a schedule and habits. Again, in order to create a new habit, most of the time we have to say bye-bye to an unhealthy habit, or something that is getting in the way, or is not serving you well. It could be, I don't know, smoking, drinking, hanging out with people that are not empowering, or that don't uplift you, you know, either it's work or family, you know, whatever it is, this is your chance. This is your chance to cut that, replace that with a healthy habit and say, okay, if I'm going to start exercising, I need to stop doing this. And then that's when the magic happens. That is truly the secret sauce, because you're taking something from here and you're flipping the switch, right? It's not just going from here to here. It's taking something that you want to maximize and maximizing it, taking something that you want to minimize and minimizing it at the same time. So the force that goes through with that simultaneously is catapulting. It's catapulting you into a whole nother speed, right? And you're like, wow, I'm really moving now. And then when you do that, day after day, time after time, you are moving at light speed, faster than you've ever in your life. And that's when you say, wow, okay, I see results, I'm feeling this, right? And sometimes we need that. We need to feel something's working, right, in order to keep doing it. So if you're an impatient person like me, you might need to, you know, do this, you know, that's why I needed to see results quickly, and this is quickly, right? You can go on one of those other diets and do whatever for years and all that stuff, but you want to lose weight fast, I'm telling you, this is the boot camp, right? You know, I mean, I'm a guy, maybe it's easier for guys, I don't know, but you know, it's like, you know, you go to the army, you do what you have to do. I mean, there's just no excuses, and you have to, you know, sacrifice. You have to make sacrifices in anything in life, right? If you wish to break through the other side and to have positive gains. So for sure, those habits, write down as part of your desired results or the pain of doing nothing, write down what are your sacrifices. And they're not even sacrifices, right? Because if it's something that you know you shouldn't be doing, then it's a treat, right? It's only a sacrifice if you really love watching Netflix and you have to stop watching that show for one season. Do it. Just do it, okay? I promise you, you're not going to lose sleep over not knowing what happened on that show, okay? Okay, no pain, no gain. I think everything we talked about is exactly that. Things have to hurt sometimes. They have to have some kind of a pain, you know, maybe physically, maybe emotionally, I don't know, right? Anytime we're going through a transformation, it's uncomfortable. Yeah, it's uncomfortable, and that's good. So sometimes we think, oh, if I'm uncomfortable, let me go back to my comfort zone. No, because your comfort zone is what wasn't working. So pain is good when it's positive pain, when you know that this hurts in a good way, right? That's what it's all about. This hurts in a good way, but I kind of like it, right? Then you become addicted to that little pain of growth, that pain of transforming, right? That pain of your new identity. And the gain of that is, wow, you know what? These pants used to be so tight on me. Huh, that's pretty good. Wow, oh my God, this shirt, I could never wear this shirt anymore. Wow, that's when you start to see a difference. When you start to see, huh, right? And then you even have people, they're like, oh, you lost weight, right? And you're like, no, not really, you know, just a couple pounds. Like, you don't really see it that much because you're doing it every day. But that's the best. That is the best. When you have people that you don't see all the time, they're like, wow, you lost some weight, right? And you're like, well, you know what, I guess I did, because everyone keeps telling me that I did. My clothes are fitting better, so own it. Say, yeah, I did. You know, for a little while, I was like, no. But then I was like, well, I did. I worked hard. I had pain. I did lose weight. Thank you for noticing. Yes, thank you for noticing. Because I did work hard. I have been busting my butt. And that little reward keeps you that fuel and keeps the fire for you to keep doing it and keep doing it. So take those little nuggets, take those little rewards and use them positively to stay steady on the course, okay? Because sometimes you can fall off when you don't think I'm seeing a result, and oh, it's been 1 week and I'm starving myself, and Richard, I don't know what you're talking about, I'm starving and I didn't lose any weight. Well, I don't know, that might be possible, but it may take you 2 weeks, right? It may take 3 weeks. I don't know. Stay the course. Just keep doing it, right? Just stay the course, keep doing it. So there's a saying that I heard a while ago, and it stuck with me because it resonates with me, and it's more true than ever today, at least in the position that I'm in, and it is, nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. Okay? Write that down. Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels, right? So obviously, what does that mean? Is when you lose the weight, when you're fitting in different clothes and you're like touching your body and you're like, wow, this really feels amazing, right? And the compliments that you're getting from people is just so great for the mindset, so great for your attitude. It's just very empowering, and so write that down because it is really, really, really true. Put it on your mirror, put it on your refrigerator, I don't know, put it everywhere if it's just going to remind you, do I need to take that extra bite? Do I need to, have that dessert or whatever that is, right? Okay, number 7, so self-reinvention. So this is what's happening right now. When you go through this transformation, right, this metamorphosis, it changes you. You're going to feel lighter, you're going to feel more powerful, more courageous. It's a very, being healthy and looking good it's very rewarding in so many different ways. Besides the compliments and the reaction you get from other people, you just have a little bit more bounce to your step, and you're just more confident, and even your desired result, right? It could be, I like what I see in the mirror. Trust me, vanity was on my list as well of one of the reasons why I wanted to lose the weight. So don't be ashamed of that. If you just say, hey, I want to look great in a bikini or a bathing suit or whatever that is, in workout clothes, or naked, right? Nothing wrong with that. I want to look great for my partner. So that's always really powerful. So your self-reinvention is going to be the things that you're doing, that you're telling yourself, you do it for yourself always, but at the end of the day, you are doing it for the relationships you have, for your family, and for be the best you can be for all of them. And that's when you really see the magic happen of the reward that you get from sticking to something like this. And right now, I'm telling you, it's a tremendous time to do it. Right now, we have the holidays coming up, so while everyone else is going to be eating more than they should because they've got the card, right? The holiday card. Hey, yeah, go and eat. Don't worry about it. You start your diet in January. While they're doing that, if you start this now, imagine what's going to happen in January when you're going to lose 5, 10 plus pounds, between now and the end of the year, and they're going to gain 5 or 10 pounds. You're going to have that scale effect, right? You're going to be going like this. They're going to be going like this, and that impact is going to be just that much greater when you see people in January. People are going to be like, oh wow, you look amazing, and all of that fun stuff, right? So that's really great, to keep that reinvention in the top of your mind and own it, right? Own your new identity, and be confident that you put in the hard work, the pain to get those rewards. Okay? Also, so if you fail, get back up. What does that mean? There's no such thing as failing, right? You might cheat, you might eat something you're not supposed to eat. If you're going to do that, I would say do it on one day, right? Pick one day, a Saturday, a Sunday, I don't know, whatever that day is. If you're going to cheat, do all of it on one day, so that you're not just cheating throughout the week or whatever. I like French fries. I like baking them in the oven at home, right? Better than fried. I don't eat hardly any other fried stuff. I love ice cream. So when it comes to dessert, yeah, don't be afraid to have dessert, but just a couple bites, right? A couple bites, 2 or 3 bites. That's it. Ice cream, I used to eat every day. Now I eat it, once a week, or on special occasions. My son just turned 4 actually last week, so he loves chocolate cake, and we had ice cream, and so I made a plate for him and a plate for me, and Seriously, I took like 30 minutes. 30 minutes to eat a little piece of cake and a little ice cream because I enjoyed it. I took little small bites and I was eating and I was like, oh my God, this tastes so good, right? I really, really thoroughly enjoyed it. And that was, got me through. Now I don't eat ice cream for a little while because that was just, you can hold on to that taste, right? A little bit longer, knowing that you got rewarded, right? It's okay to get rewarded as we go. You shouldn't be miserable. I'm not saying pain is misery. Enjoy some things, but just do it moderately and do it within your scale, right? Within your schedule. Okay. So also, this is something that you have control over. So I want you to really, a lot of factors in your life are happening and you're just reacting to them, right? So, and your attitude is really positive and you do whatever you have to do in that regard. However, this is one thing. You have 100% control over what you put in your mouth, what you're doing, what are your habits, are you working out, are you doing the smart things? So this is the one thing you can't blame anybody else. There's no more excuses. There's no nothing. This is for you. If you want that in reinvention, you have the right to do it. You have 100% control of creating that new identity that you always wanted or you had and you want to get it back. So take ownership of it. Just start. Start small, start whatever, write it down. I'll be your accountability partner. Put down what you want. Put down what are your results. You want to lose 10 pounds in 2 months. You want to lose 5 pounds in 3 months. Write it down. We'll start a little community here and I'll hold you accountable. I'll say, hey, what are you doing? What's going on? We'll kind of keep everybody focused. At least when you put it out there, you're at least kind of saying, hey, I'm raising my hand. I would like this to happen, right? And whatever, just doing that is going to probably make it 33% more greater chance of it happening by you owning it because you're putting it in writing, you're putting it out there in the universe, right? Even if it's amongst people that that you don't know, and it still makes a big difference. Okay, so please go ahead and share that there. We're here for you. Again, if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing at least one per week is my goal, hopefully more in the future. And if you know someone that could really benefit from this information, obviously please share it with them. And that's it. Be the best you can be. Take ownership of the one thing you have control over, and I promise you your health is the most important thing, whether it's for yourself, whether it's for your family, and you deserve to look and feel the best you can be. All right? Thank you guys for watching. Take care.